This is strange things that happen when I'm watching TV that I've had witnesses to see this. How it seems like the words are being altered to be toxic, and this happens at hotels too. My device does not want me uploading it. Why would my device try to hide this? I tried to report this, but I had to delete the videos because I realized it wasn't realistic. So this is the time, 7:49, and my device don't want you seeing what I have been through. So we'll wait. While they're doing that, let me do something to see when they'll let me upload this video. It does appear that sometimes the wording is altered in these videos. I do make mistakes, but sometimes it seems like nothing. Let me, after you watch the video, you'll know what I'm speaking of. Okay, the time now, since I'm recording, is 7:50. Let's go ahead and upload this. Okay, let's see how long this was going to take. If it's 4 hours. 21 minutes. It's better than it typically is. This is supposedly the Courtyard Marriott.
Good morning, Courtyard Northwest. This is Candace. May I assist you?
You sound familiar. How long? May I ask how long you've been working there?
For about 5 years.
Okay, I think you have been working there. Do you still have that manager that had been there for an extended amount of time?
No.
Okay. Well, I had an incident with the TV, and he was aware of the incident. I think you called the police on me because I had a second incident with the TV. And you said that you were calling the police and you guys wouldn't give me a working phone. I told you I was fleeing a domestic abuse crisis.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory.
Well, I told you I was fleeing a domestic abuse crisis and I asked for a working phone and you threatened the police because I wanted a working phone and my phone kept glitching. And
when was this?
It was, I think this was about 4 years ago. I recognize your voice. What's your name?
Candace.
Yeah, I don't think there's probably too many people that are fleeing a domestic abuse crisis and you don't want to give a phone to, and you call the police on them for wanting a working phone.
I don't even know what you're talking about, ma'am.
Okay.
You probably having me miss with somebody else.
Oh, do you have black hair?
Else. I'm sorry?
Do you have black hair?
I have brown hair.
Okay. You were in, I think it was you. Okay. But you didn't. You're claiming that you didn't call the police on me for wanting a working phone and reporting issues with the TV?
No, ma'am. Not me. Not I.
Okay. Okay. Well, who was the manager that was there? Because this incident that occurred with the TV was 2018, and he witnessed the TV not working. And
okay. So since then we've had 3 different managers.
It was a male.
So, I'm sorry.
Was a male manager? What was his name?
There's been 3 managers, all males. So
in 2018, 2018, you had a manager that was multiple different male managers in 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
Because whenever I try to backtrack people, they tell me people don't work there anymore, and a lot of times it's been blatant lies. He said that
they don't. They don't. It's not a lie.
No, a lot of times they have blatantly lied because I've seen these parties.
And if it was me, I would tell you straight up that it was me. But
is there anybody?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm doing my own law enforcement investigation rather, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of what this man witnessed something peculiar happening with the TV. And then I thought it was you, but you claim it wasn't you. You put me out to cover for the TV, or someone did.
Yeah, I put a few people out, but never for domestic violence or anything like that.
Oh, well, no, this person threatened me. I told them I was in a domestic abuse crisis, and you're not the only hotel, but multiple different hotels would not give me a working phone, period. And I had to start recording. Then the police department scammed that they were putting me out because I was recording at a hotel stay. Well, people wouldn't believe that hotels enforce a domestic abuse crisis and keep you from having a working phone and play mind games with TVs. But this manager saw the TV and gave me another room. Then the police department came from nowhere and put me out the hotel completely. Then I came a second time.
What was this manager? White, Indian, Mexican?
He was white.
We've had all types.
He was white.
Okay, so you're looking for Scott. Scott hasn't been here. He hasn't worked here for about 3 years now.
They lied and told me that Scott didn't work there. See, this is what I'm speaking of. Because I tried to speak with Scott again, and they told me that he didn't work there even more than 3 years ago. This is a repeated pattern.
Yeah, he don't work here no more, Scott.
Yeah, that was his name, Scott. I remember Scott. He was nice and friendly, and I don't think he called the police. I think they came on their own. And then enlisted. Scott wasn't even present with some other woman. This black woman came. Have you ever had a black woman manager?
A task force manager, yeah.
What's her name?
Marva.
That's her. Marva came out with the police and then put me out, and then gave me a refund. They're so crooked now they don't even give me refunds and put me out. So Marva came. I was in the bed from nowhere, gave me a refund and demanded that I leave at 8, and I could barely even catch the bus, and nothing happened. So I'm just trying to help people be accountable because hotels shouldn't be in the cahoots with a domestic abuse crisis and depriving someone of a working phone that's fleeing abuse.
Well, the company that was managing this hotel, because we've already had several companies managing this hotel, so the company that was managing this hotel at that time would be Midas Hospitality.
Well, Marva was the one that came with the police department and demanded that I leave, and nothing happened, and slandered me. Whatever, they didn't even have their lie together. They claimed that they were putting me out for no reason, and they didn't have to have a reason to put me out the hotel room.
You checking out, sir? Yeah. What room?
And then something else in addition, when I'm at hotel stays, they make it really toxic washing, even at washing areas. So the lady whoever it was, you claim it wasn't you, demanded that I'm like a child. I check in with her every time that I check my laundry. So I just couldn't freely go in the laundry room. They locked and closed it up, and then demanded that it was a key entry, but she disabled the key entry and demanded that I go through her each time that I was doing my laundry and checking it. So if the clothes weren't dry and I had to put in dryer sheets, I had to go check in with her. It was toxic because a lot of times she'd leave the front desk and wasn't there, and I had to wait on her to do my laundry. But people's places treat me like this. I don't know why she disabled the keypad and then demanded that I speak with her before checking my clothes. Have you ever heard of that?
No. What's your name?
It's Kiana Clark.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
It must have been another Mexican chick that with black hair here.
Okay. What was her name?
I know who.
What could it be a possibility of her name? I may recognize it.
Perla.
That does sound familiar, but I don't want to, accuse someone that didn't do it. But anyway, she was ready for confusion, like a lot of environments. And if they can't find any kind of strategy to conflict, they'll create it and lie to create it. And I'm just trying to prove it. Okay, well, whoever is Scott, if someone were to do in law enforcement and Scott would be honest, it did seem like Scott had integrity, which is why they had to call Marva to do this. Scott said, point blank, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know what's going on. You can move hotel rooms, no problem. And then he moved me to another hotel room, but I guess Scott didn't want to be in cahoots, so they enlisted Marva, who was good with it. So Marva came, demanded that I get a refund, and left the hotel room with no reasoning. I had already got locked out of my Facebook page, and then the police escorted me out, threatened to knock down the door. So I came back. Then you guys refused to give me a working phone. I begged and pleaded because my phone wasn't working, and I was trying to get in a safe environment. Whoever it was, said they were calling the police, and I could not have a working phone. And the TV was glitching and being weird for a second time. I had to start recording videos, but I realized how it sounded, so I deleted a lot of those videos. But Scott was a witness that some strange things were happening on TVs, even at hotels. Okay, ma'am. Well, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
If my sister would be honest, in another party, so I went over this male's party's house that was acquaintance to my grandmother. It was by my grandmother's house. And I got on watching his TV, and there was the crimes being committed at CPS. And then when I went over there, I was being gang stalked. Okay, so I went over there. I was scrolling around. I tried to go to communities where it was older people that I knew in my life that the government didn't have an opportunity to influence, because I realized that the government was influencing people, my friendships and relationships. So I tried to find old acquaintances that weren't compromised to try to get something accomplished in my life. So I was scrolling up and down this old community, and I was being gang stalked. So this was like the second or third time that I had came over to this party's house. So I came over and we were watching a Western. Well, the Western was saying something about CPS. and CPS, and they're going to want to take your kids, and it was toxic what they were saying. And he said this show don't make sense. I cannot think of his name. I'll tell you later when I can remember his name. And then, but my sister, their TV did it, and I saw someone messing with an antenna in that neighborhood. And then, well, the problem of it was typically AT&T has AT&T attire, but this man had on a denim outfit doing something with a TV. So they indeed their TV was saying toxic things about that they're going to take your kids, and you're going to get shot. It was LA law, but it was it was weird. It wasn't normal, and I confronted them. I said, "This don't sound normal. It sounds like it's being manipulated." And they confirmed, "No, this is how it sounds. I've seen this episode before." But these are the same people that hid my charger and scammed the avenue to be able to put me out. If anyone willing to do law enforcement, my sister as well, the other party is now deceased. They will tell you that something was amiss with the TV if, they're not too afraid to admit it. They just don't want, this is McDonald's Hillsboro. They do not want me talking to them, period. I made multiple different attempts. This don't even sound like a real call. It didn't ring. This is the location where multiple different employees lied on me. And the manager let some of them go, and she said, "I can't keep letting people go. There will be no one working here." They don't even want an explanation. They won't talk. Let's try this again. I didn't know I was targeted. Now it's busy, conveniently. This way they don't get caught. I'm frustrated. It just hung up without saying anything. Let's try it again. I don't know what's happening here. I just dialed it and it went somewhere else. That's how you solve this problem. Let's set up for them not to answer the phone. They won't answer. I've tried multiple different times. But anyone willing to do law enforcement, this lady had to terminate multiple different people in 2018 before my false arrest for blatantly lying on me. It was just the working atmosphere was so toxic. I couldn't work there, even though I needed the job. I had applied for multiple different jobs. They acted weird, switch up, and I realized they were being controlled. I don't even really try now. I have plans, but they just interrupt everything. So I don't want to invest, if they can enlist jobs to lie on you employers and no one's holding these people accountable, what does that leave me?
For calling Itasca, please listen because our extensions have changed. If you know the extension of the person you are calling, you may dial it at any time. Administration, press 1. High school, press 2. Middle school.
One moment while your call is connected.
Other extension,
That's the
press
elementary
1.
school one answer.
To leave a voicemail, press 2. Or simply stay on.
You have reached Itasca ISD outside of normal business hours.
How?
Please call back Monday through Friday between 7:30 a.m. and 4 p.m.
They just scam any kind of avenue. It's Monday, 8:05.
You have reached Itasca ISD outside of normal business hours. Please call back Monday through Friday.
That lets you know
between
something is amiss
7:30 a.m.
if they don't
and
want to
4
talk to
p.m.
me. Let's try this again. It won't even give me the automated prompts. It just keeps ringing, so I can wait. Show you the time. Time is 8:07. This is why I had to call the police the other day. Because I call and call and call and call and call. And the calls are manipulated, calling attorneys, and then things that are supposed to have automated systems, they are removed, they glitch to pose problems. The hold time is created, an extensive amount of hold time, hoping I'll hang up, then I'll get disconnected. So this we just called, and they had an automated system that has now disappeared. Okay, I don't know. Maybe my device switched up the number. It does that.
Our office hours are Monday through Friday from
Some connect. They said,
Itasca Elementary, this is Rebecca.
hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. May I ask how long you've been there?
What can I help you with?
I just wanted to know. I want to make sure you're the right person to talk to. May I ask how long you've been there?
Well, who are you needing to talk with?
Oh, you don't want me to know my phone was glitching trying to get a hold of you? Can I just want to talk to someone that has been there long, and I don't know why you don't want me to know? Did something happen I'm not aware of?
Oh, no, ma'am. I just was trying to get to the right person for you, but with it being summer, not everybody's here.
Oh,
So
okay.
can I get your information and we can give you a call back?
Well, I just wanted to know if before I wanted to make sure that I'm speaking with the right party. May I ask how long you've been there?
Well, what party are you looking for?
Oh, okay, because when I don't know why so many environments are prearranged and controlled. I just had an experience with my child. Were you aware of Michaela Cage? Were you there when she?
No, ma'am, I was not. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
How long ago was this?
It may have been. I think it was like. Are you aware of the school shutdown?
School shut down for what reason?
They claimed, I don't know, my life is pretty peculiar. They claimed that it was an epidemic. We picked up our kids Friday. It was bizarre, and I started a new job that Monday. And then it was no problem Friday, but the person that was taking my daughter to school claimed that the whole school shut down that Monday for a flu epidemic that occurred over the weekend.
How many years are we speaking? Because we haven't had one. I'm just trying to figure out, like.
Well, then I'd like to speak to someone for clarity. Is it HID? Any party that had been working there a long time? Because I just had some questions. Is it HID?
No, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I don't have anybody that could probably help you right now. But if I can get your information, we can give you a call back.
Okay. So who is the superintendent or principal?
Well, were they here? I'm not just trying to figure out, like, the right person to get you to.
I don't know why you can't answer that question. That's bizarre. Who is the superintendent or principal? Who is that?
All of that is online if you need that information, ma'am.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why you're withholding it? Why would you want to withhold it? What's happening? That's not typical of a parent's asking for the superintendent and principal. Why you wouldn't want to give it to them and want them to disrespect them by having them go online? That's bizarre. Why wouldn't you just tell a party that? Why would you want to inconvenience someone and have them go online if they're asking you that question? Is there something wrong?
Well, no, ma'am, nothing is wrong at all.
That's bizarre. Do you know who the superintendent and principal is? Because I get treated like that quite often. I just find it highly peculiar if someone has called and asking you that information and you're refusing it and demanding that they go online. Wouldn't you feel that would be mistreatment?
Ms. Clark, if you'd like me to answer you, you got to give me a moment to speak, okay? So
I didn't know. Okay.
I'm not refusing to give you any information. I'm just letting you know that it is available online. So all of it is public. I'm not trying to avoid any of that.
Okay, well, can you tell me who it is? The question that I asked? I don't have access to online.
Okay, just give me one moment. I have someone I'm trying to let in at the moment. You to the right person that you're needing to speak to.
Okay, who is that?
Well, what is your full name?
Who are you getting me to?
I'm going to send you to our admin department.
Okay, but I'm asking for the superintendent and principal. Why would you why would you withhold that information and hide the superintendent and principal?
I'm not withholding it, Ms. Clark.
You're not giving it to me. That is withholding it. I don't know why you'd be dishonest. If I'm asking for the superintendent and principal and you're not telling me, you would absolutely be withholding it. My life is so
Okay.
peculiar. Like when I came in and they demanded that I left, but there's been some serious abuse that my daughter has encountered, and you guys were in cahoots with schemes to terminate my parental rights until you got caught. So that is serious and that's criminal for school teachers to be accomplices to that. And I'm not quite certain why so many parties are withholding information and wants to be in cahoots with criminal charges. So I'm not, I
Ms.
mean, and
Clark,
then she suffered a lot of abuse, well, you know, when she attended the school from multiple different teachers. And then they brought that abuse, used that as a strategy to violate me as well. Blatantly lied on my daughter saying she did things she didn't do, and then said she did things that didn't even make sense. And then when they got
Ms.
caught in
Clark,
those,
if you'd like me to help you, you're going to have to let me
you're,
talk.
ma'am, I think that you have integrity issues because if I'm asking for the superintendent and principal and you're withholding that and trying to blame me and gaslight me, then I don't think that you'll be a good fit. I need to speak with someone that don't condone teachers
Okay.
letting a
And
child wet on
that's
themselves.
what I'm trying to do for you, Miss Clark.
But
you're
that would
refusing
be
give
to
me
answer the
information.
question, who's
So
the superintendent
from
and
this point,
principal?
I hope you have a wonderful day. And if there's anything else, I will try and help you at a different time.
I don't
Thank you.
remember telling you my name. I could have, but didn't know I told you my name. I mean, the government has it made, and the abuser, whoever set it up, they hold up the calls, play these games, and then they enlist these parties to be in cahoots with cover up. They tell them how to talk, and all my environment strategize to blame me for crimes that they repeatedly commit. So it's pointless. The government has all the parties on lockdown. They know I'm trying to incriminate people, and they make sure that I don't get my calls returned, so it's fruitless to give my information. 90% of my calls aren't returned, so it's just a waste of time.
Dallas Northwest, this is Candace. Can I assist you?
I'm sorry, what did I call?
Courtyard.
Okay, I think I just spoke with you. Does Marva still work there? Is there a way I can get a hold of Marva?
You would have to contact the Midas Hospitality. That's the corporate that she works for.
What was she doing at your location then?
Because Midas Hospitality was managing this hotel.
Oh, okay. What's the number?
Let me put you on a brief hold.
Okay. If she works at corporate, I'm still not getting clarity on why she was there slandering me. And they didn't even slander me because they had no reasoning for putting me out. They said they didn't have to have a reason. The only thing that occurred was this man was mad because I was trying to incriminate him on Facebook. He locked me out of the page that I'm currently still locked out of when he realized I was trying to incriminate him. So what he was doing was talking to me on multiple different fake pages. So I was liking each thing. So if someone were to do law enforcement, they would have a paper trail of what these fake pages he was communicating with me on. So when he realized that I was trying to incriminate him, he got infuriated and then locked me out of my Facebook page.
Okay, thank you for holding. Okay, so their number is 314-692-0100.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But he had already locked me out of the other one and all my emails. So it kept happening. They would scam. The hotels would do something like they'd have something not working. Like they knew that I wanted to shower. They needed to enforce someone was paying to get me out of these hotel rooms. Now we have to strategize on how we're going to accomplish this. Okay, well, if you're homeless, first off, you're going to want a shower. So create issues with the shower. So I go in there, the shower head would fall off on the floor, creating problems with me showering. That would be one. That was one strategy that was used at a hotel. Or the cold and hot water would be scalding hot. Or the lights wouldn't come on in the shower, the bathroom area. So if I tried to get ready, I would have to get shower and get ready in complete dark, which was a safety hazard because I couldn't see. Though that was a strategy. Or you're taking the phones out, making the phones not work. That was a strategy. Causing problems with the air and AC was a strategy. They love the phone aspect because that was doubly imperative. Because if I'm at a hotel fleeing for my life, I'm going to want to have to flee and try to get help. That was imperative that they interrupted that. So they knew I was homeless. So enlist all the hotels. I had to start recording to cause conflict with the hotel phone. Then another strategy was enforcing that the hotels gave me phones that they didn't typically give other parties staying there because the calls are controlled on the hotel's phone too. And I actually saw a device at a hotel stay. So nonetheless, back to the hotel. So they needed to strategize. So they enlisted hotels to give me phones that did not have speakers on them. And some of these hotels were nice. And then they would give me these old, dusty, crusted up phones. And a lot of these phones you could tell were not hotel standard phones because it didn't have the hotel logo on it. And it looked like they found it in a basement and then tried to give it to me. Some of them were filthy. And then, I started recording this and then they started doing a little better. But then they wanted to threaten the police because I'm complaining about why they would give me suspicious phones that no other no other person in the hotel had. I uploaded a lot of these videos and then I had to delete them because I realized how it sounded.
Hospitality. For development, investment, or hospitality management, please press.
Yeah, they're getting to the point to where they just
You have
haven't know how to
reached
answer the phone.
Minus Hospitality. Our address is 1804 Foreman Circle Drive,
They're not
St. Louis,
answering.
Missouri, 63146. Our fax number.
How is if she is in Dallas, how is it a Missouri number that she gave me? It's pointless. It takes a lot of time to do your own investigation work. And you guys get to be a part of that. But unfortunately, we're getting some dead ends. So this isn't working. They don't want to answer at multiple different locations. So it glitched until I got my device.
Dallas Police, Northwest Division, Officer, how can I help you?
Yes, may I have your badge number?
11651.
Yes, I did I'm sorry?
Who's calling?
Okay. Yes, I did a report. And I came in and did a report with the police. I had a strange experience at multiple different hotel stays. I had Baymont blatantly lie on me and Motel 6. Motel 6 said the police department told them to not check me out of room. And then I extended my stay at a hotel stay at Baymont. I extended my stay, paid for the room, and then I left. I came back. They said that it glitched, took my food and threw it away. That I had deliberately bought enough food to tie me over. So they threw all my food away and got all my property and took it out. And when I came back from trying to fight for my life, so I paid to extend my stay. They lied and said I didn't, and had all my things out at the front, and then said that they were full and I couldn't check out a room, and then threw my food away. But nonetheless, it was multiple different days in light, and they kept all these places were scamming to deprive me of checkout and several different strategies. Days in said that they were full at checkout time, and there were hardly no cars in the parking lot. Multiple different other locations did it. So I called the police because I didn't understand why these hotels were scamming a lie on me. So I came there to report it. And at Racetrack, something happened at Racetrack when I was trying to purchase food, and I was arrested. I think his name was Wilkins or something like that. I think it was Wilkins. Arrested me. We really didn't get down to the bottom of why I was being arrested. All I did was try to purchase food at Racetrack because I was blacklisted from all the local food. So I traveled on a train trying to get food, and all their food was put up. When I questioned why everything was put up, then they called the police. So I left, my phone went dead. The police pulled up immediately like I had shot someone, handcuffed me, and I don't know why they were doing it. To this day, I told them that I had multiple false arrests, and I asked them, was this related? Then they asked how many I had. I told them that was in the teens, and they promptly released me. So, but I want to know what happened with that report on these.
Do you have a case number by any chance?
No, I don't have a case number, but I can give you my name.
Let me see if I can look it up from there. Okay, what's your first name? If I can pull it up.
Would it get lost? You said you have to see if you can pull it up. Isn't that a crime if you can't?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't that be a criminal if you can't pull it up?
Well, I'm not the one that arrested you, and normally they give you a case number when you're arrested.
Oh, I'm just
And they
saying
put it
all of the
properly.
things. That isn't the only report I made, but even if you weren't the one, if you can't find it, wouldn't that be a crime? Because it keeps happening to me.
Not really, because things, everyone's human, things slip through the cracks. If you want a copy of your report, you can go.
I've already done that, but I'm just not. You're a police officer,
Yes.
and it's not criminal for evidence to be tampered with and then disappear. That's not a crime.
Well, it's not evidence.
It is evidence. If you're taking someone's freedom and you can't let that disappear, that's a record. You just can't take your freedom and it disappeared. That can be considered evidence. And obstruction of justice. If you're arresting someone and then letting it disappear, I thought that was a crime, and then you're just making it sound like it's no big deal. But I thought indeed that was criminal. If you take someone's freedom and someone's doing a report and you have to see if you can find it, it just keeps happening year after year. And these key words. I'm just trying to get clarity on if evidence is repeatedly missing. Wouldn't that be a crime?
Ma'am, I just looked up your information and nothing's coming off of the report writing system, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. I'm not the one.
Do you have Officer Wilkins there?
We don't have an Officer Wilkins here.
Okay, one moment. One moment. Hold on. So you don't have any of my reports either that I've made? You have nothing in my name, period? Because I've had these operators lie to me, and then they lie to me in person.
I can't, like I said, I can't speak on that because
I just gave you my information, and you don't see any reports in my name, period, with my name.
No, I can't. Nothing with your name currently.
Okay, they have said that, and then they've been blatantly lying to conceal crimes. So let me get the officer's name. One moment. While I'm doing that, why do you perceive that the police will cover for these hotels' odd behavior and scheming so I can't stay in them? Because now they're claiming that these hotels are calling the police on me, that the hotels are blatantly lying. And then it's defrauded me out of funds.
Anybody can call the police. You could have called. Yeah, I mean, you called the same way. So everybody has the right to call police.
Well, you don't call the police to defraud someone out of money that they pay for a hotel room for profit. I thought that would be like theft. I don't know what the laws are, but if you let someone pay for a room and you lie and scheme and get them out of the hotel room with no reasoning, I don't know why that's not a violation and it's some sort of discrimination. If they're having me pay for rooms and then defrauding me out of the funds that I'm paying for the room for.
That's a civil issue, and anybody can have the right to refuse service.
No, that's a civil rights violation, especially since I paid for a hotel room. You can't decide after the police department tells you to, then refuse me of service. If I pay for a room and in my room in the bed trying to flee abuse that the police department's enlisted in, they can't decide.
I can help you with right now. If you have an emergency, I would advise.
That is an emergency. If you guys aren't put under control and you keep calling, I think that you're a threat to national security when you enlist civilians in so much corruption and criminal activity. I think that you're a threat, and I think that you're dangerous. Because if you're enforcing crimes on armies of civilians, that's a threat to our everyday part of living. If you're at church and forcing people to commit crimes and be a part of a harassment and hate to campaigns, if you're enlisting hospitals, churches, domestic violence organizations, everywhere I'm at to be part of abuse, that's serious.
Cut them off when I started.
The gang stalkers had stopped in front of me and then was shining the lights in my face.
This one's coming out. They're out of control as they've been.
This is how it is when I'm driving and with my friends.
Again, shining the lights in my face.
They stopped and cut the bright lights.
They realized I was recording.
Then this one was smart and had the lights off, so I couldn't see.
Coming out. They're out of control as they've been years.
This is within seconds. They wait to do this.
Turn right onto Stemmons Trail, then turn.
I mean, these cars are like a parade, and then immediately when I get my tablet, they leave. See that person standing? It's always someone outside everywhere I go. Hello, how are you today?
Hi, good.
Okay, that's good. I have some strange experiences here.
I'm incriminating the hotels.
And then I booked a room.
I'm going to the police. The police department's behind it.
Crimes at all locations, even the police department. So if it is a good cop,
so I'm asking what's going on with the investigation on why armies of locations are blatantly lying on me.
Including police. That's
they're behind it, so they can't.
Standing and giving church members intimidation tactics as well as with my apartment complex. It's insane. So I came here to get a status of the report. As they've done years, they try to set me up and tamper with evidence with no consequences.
So he's holding me up.
They have no right to blacklist me from all hotels over here because it's close to the FBI. And that's what they're doing out of corruption, and it is criminal, and they need their charges.
And it was an added bonus that they don't like me to be in avenues where there's multiple different hotel stays. They want to be able to control it and make it toxic. So when I was at that other location in Pleasant Grove, they didn't like that location because that's where my grandmother lived, number one, and I could run into someone that I knew in the past that could possibly help me. And they needed to be able to control my friendships and relationships. So then that was not something that the government was willing to let me be in that environment. They didn't want to risk me running into an old acquaintance. That was a problem. Second off, the location, it was too many hotels over there. That was an added problem. And the food was in close proximity, and they want me to be able to catch the bus and get violated. That was another issue. So in environments like that, they need to control them. So they had all the hotels in that row give me criminal trespasses and corruption, and that's exactly what they did in this environment. So a lot of these locations are deliberately holding me up.
They repetitively set me up, arrest, and
I'll show you why they wanted to hold me up
for years. Let's pause. Okay.
So then he's holding me up he says someone's going to help me.
That is Motel 6. Motel 6. Motel 6 is a 2380 Northwest Highway. Baymont also schemed. In fact, multitude.
So Motel 6 is the.
And a lot of hotels over here have schemed to deprive me of services, and I wanted us to get down to the bottom of why.
The police are behind it. Motel 6 told me the police told them to deny me services.
Would you like to give me the address to Baymont?
Yes, but they have new owners. They said they don't have the information.
Okay.
So
I was going to get away with felonies with no consequences. There has been assaults and multiple arrests. Why don't right care take the government's corruption and crimes and the child abuse? So yeah, let me give you evidence of my daughter's abuse via right care, and you have a requirement to report suspected child abuse. And the government has been enforcing my daughter's abuse. So let's go over that.
I'll put this in.
How can I help you?
Yeah, I wanted you to see how the government has been enforcing my daughter's child abuse. Your social work.
So it's been processing. They don't want you to see this video on the issues with the TV and other things. So that's the time. They're mad, so they're causing issue with this device. And now that I'm recording, and this device. I pay for this. This isn't free. Both of this device and this device I'm paying for, but I get mistreated trying to report to my providers the crimes that are committed with them. And they won't investigate it. It's stuck at 99, so you can't see it. That is evidence. This is just something that I'm reporting about TVs that I know you didn't believe. And I uploaded videos. This happens at hotels. So this was a scam right here. They claim that the AC, I told people that I wanted to get, because I was forced into a tent. I said it was too cold. I was getting me a hotel room. And then the hotel claims that
criminal trespass because I told her that the heater don't work.
You're getting a trespass because, from my understanding, they don't want you to be here and they refunded any of your money.
Right, but I just want to make sure that you understand. I communicated to her that the heater don't work, and she told me to leave.
Actually, so bring that back over here.
And then they have that man scamming that it does work, that I'm just lying.
It's not. I wouldn't have just reported it for no reason.
I don't know, man.
So they have security that's in cahoots with these
crimes. The bottom line of
crimes.
it is, I get a criminal trespass for just reporting that the heater don't work. I just was letting them know.
So I didn't record the other incident. This is another location in Garland. I'm just trying to prove.
Here, and I'm on the do not rent list, and I have an emergency going tonight, which is why I came here. Huh? The cops came out when?
December 29th, 2 days ago.
They told you to put me on the do not. Why would what did the cops come out for? I mean, I have strange things going on in my life, and it's an emergency. My tent got flooded, and I walked all the way here, and how in the world am I on the do not rent list? And
so you got to talk to the manager.
See, everything is sabotaged, so I have to.
So what happened was I was forced to live in a tent, and it was cold outside and raining. Okay. So whatever was happening, these tent communities were controlled. So I get in the go to the tent, and I don't know what happened, but the tent's flooded and my blanket's cold. So it's storming outside. And there's nowhere I can go on the planet. I don't have families. Our shelters won't let me in. Police departments won't help. So I have no other choice but to say that I'm mentally ill to get off the streets. There's nowhere I can go on the planet. It's not safe. It's cold, storming outside. I can't be on benches. It's during COVID. Everything's shut off, and I'm afraid for my life. And there's nothing that I can do on the planet. Nowhere I can go, and that was terrifying. But I had to normalize it. So the only thing that I had, my shoes were all muddied up, tracking through mud, and had this umbrella getting blown. I'm wet up in the cold. So then they won't check me out of room. They said the police had something to do with it, but they won't tell me. So nonetheless, I call and I say that I want to hurt myself. So I go to the hotel room. I'm looking at the police department on panic, going back and forth, telling staff what to do. So then, nonetheless, I said that I want to hurt myself. The staff told me I didn't, and then released me within hours. It wasn't even a full day. I think I got there maybe 1 or 2 a.m., and they released me at 6 a.m. and told me I wasn't having a mental crisis. But they were on the way to the hospital. They told me that I had a warrant in Dallas. I had no clue what the warrant was for. They knew that would be a strategy that I would have to not be in the cold and rain. So, nonetheless, I was getting terrorized in jail. They gave us snacks. I had saved up a lot of snacks, and a lot of inmates did it. They saved up the snacks, and then they made spreads with the cookies that we got. So the jail targeted me, and then they took all my snacks that everybody else kept and had a shakedown. And I just had to live with being treated like this. They enlisted people to scare me out of my sleep, like they do multiple different other locations. So whenever I would have real peaceful sleep real peacefully, and my abuser and the government didn't like that. So they scammed for these inmates to do strange things and terrorize me out of my sleep. That way, whenever I lay down and go to sleep, I would be traumatized and not know when someone was going to wake me up. They yell like in a rage from nowhere. And then they jump down and make deliberately drop things. They do this at shelters. They'll drop something real loud and it'll startle me out of my sleep. So it makes you, when you go to sleep, you start feeling afraid because you don't know if someone's going to scare you out of your sleep. So you don't sleep as peacefully. So then this is where the inmate threatened me, and then she would follow me around and interrupt me talking to people, telling people my experiences, and then eventually she hit me, and then they were going to put me in isolation. But the other inmates, said, no, you got the wrong one. They repeatedly put me in jail with people who have violent crimes, and I don't know what I was in jail for. They never told me. I never went to court. So like I said, to this day, I don't know. So it was my choice of being outside and can't get shelter, period, because the government's enforcing that I don't progress and can't get shelter, or being in jail with shelter getting violated. So I chose the shelter because it was cold outside. They gave me a PR bond. I said, no, I'm not signing it. I have no other place to go. I can't get any shelters and corruption, so I'll just stay in jail. It's safer than being outside on the streets, and nothing's repeatedly done about this nonsense. Then they finally let me go into the abusive Salvation Army, where they eventually lied and slandered me and then detained me on false mental illness claims, and then gave me a criminal trespass there to keep me from getting services from Salvation Army in Dallas. They had already did it at the Salvation Army in Tyler, and then they gave me a Salvation Army at the one in Denton. The reason why they did that, because I wanted a Christian organization to be able to be in, and I like Salvation Army, and when they heard that I wanted that Christian organization, they needed a strategy to deprive me of what was important to me. So then they enlisted all the Salvation Armies. When they found out where I wanted to flee with, they enlisted all of them to give me criminal trespasses and corruption to keep me from something that I felt that I wanted. And it's been a pattern. Well, it won't let this go through. I think that this is a red flag that what I communicated with you with the TVs in my experience are indeed real, because it will not upload this video. So we'll try to upload it again. If someone is saying that someone is controlling videos and then making these, so the intent is that whenever I'm trying to relax, and then like you can watch a movie, the intent is for it to be toxic. So I know how my life is. I know how church is. So let me get on my device and try to watch a comedy movie to uplift my spirits. So we got to make the comedy toxic, and nobody will believe her story. So then when she's trying to watch these comedies, it doesn't make sense and it becomes like toxic and it's like abuse. Because if you're trying to laugh and then someone and you're eating food and then she said it makes me want to shit and eat it, that's disgusting. That's not funny. And you've actually kind of interrupted my peace. And then, you want to be in healthy environments, or have a healthy mentality for life. And then I'm looking at these classy women and this is my future life goals. Classy, nice home, pool. And then in the kitchen, they're saying, I want addicted. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what they said. I want a DICK in my mouth. And then the whole group is in agreement with them. That's not classy. Nothing. Okay, I guess that they know it. They don't want to talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and redo it. I'm uploading this again. Okay, and since I uploaded again, it populated. So typically in my environments, when I'm doing my investigation work and I'm going through this, the police departments, shelter staff, armies, people staying at the shelter would interrupt. Police would knock at the doors at hotel stays, no rhyme or no reason. Shelter staff would demand my time to interrupt. If I'm at churches doing something, like at Community Transformation, I was trying to upload since I couldn't properly use my device. He tried to interrupt, but I ignored him because it also happened at Arbalon. Sherry removed me, and she was so busy trying to remove me from doing uploads that someone deliberately sped up in the car like they were going to hit my friend. She was trying to interrupt me doing that upload so much that she left someone at the church, someone else. Her name was Kavina. So she was supposed to be in Bible study. In choir rehearsal. And each time they had choir rehearsal after church service, we were left and then we all went to go get something to eat after service, Wednesday night service. It happened every time I attended church. So Sherry did not want me uploading the videos of what happened to my friend. So she had went in there to choir rehearsal like she did every Wednesday. She had left. Someone told her to leave. She said, I'm going to choir rehearsal. I started uploading. She immediately came out and said, we need to leave right now. I said, what is happening? You normally do choir rehearsal. And she was like, we need to leave right now. I said, Kavina's still here. We're leaving right now. I said, well, let me stay with Kavina. I have something going on. Look, we need to leave right now. Are you going to cause a problem? You're leaving now with me, not with Kavina. So I'm leaving confused. I told her I was doing something important. She didn't care. And she didn't do her own choir rehearsal that she had did every week. So nonetheless, Kavina calls me and says, what's happening? Where's everyone? I said she demanded that we left. Without me? That she didn't have time. She was trying to stop me from uploading. That she didn't even have time to get Kavina. And then Kavina's like, why would she leave without me? I said, I don't know what, but my life has been peculiar. And then CT did. So I'm telling you, communicating with you that they're so petty. I don't even know if this channel's real. I don't see enough arrests for it to be, exposed that something's really being done about my experiences. But nonetheless, that these people don't want me uploading. The police department has came to bus stops, restaurants, multiple different environments. So I don't know what's happening. But I do know that was typically a fear. They came to Red Roof Inn on their own. I had just been calling on my phone. Nothing happened multiple different times. In fact, on a lot of these videos, you can see the police scamming to get me out the safety of hotel rooms. And I got tired of it, so I just recorded. It happened each location. It happened in Austin. So there's that fear of knowing that the government is allowed to illegally monitor you. And then when you're trying to get something done on your phone and flee their abuse, knock, knock. From nowhere, in this brand new environment, they sent someone over here to interrupt. You can hear even in this brand new environment, multiple different knocks on the door. But now they're enlisting people in these environments to come interrupt. So at Midcoast, when they were mad, they had Midcoast lie and slander and said that I was recording people. Well, at that point, I cut my device off all the time, and Midcoast staff, I wouldn't talk to them without my device on. They knew it. I said, no, I don't talk to you. Let me cut my device off. I'm just walking through the door. So if they knew that I kept cutting my device off, why would they lie and say I was recording them? But that was the avenue to control me and cause fear. If they know I have no other place to go, I fled to this brand new environment. And if this location is threatening to put me out over recording and they know that I didn't, that causes fear. So, and that's what it's supposed to do. So mid-coast, I said, who gave you that? What makes you think I recorded? And then they're not supposed to know anything about my channel. So they slandered me and said that some staff member said that I recorded. I said, well, I'd like to know what staff member is lying on me, because it also happened at Denton County Friends of the Family. And they put me out over blatant lies in multiple different other environments. So I'd like to get down to the bottom of why people perpetually lie on me. And then she wouldn't tell me, and she said that it was confidential. That way that party didn't get accountability. She also tried to demand that I get my email changed, because if I was getting death threats and emails, that was a safety risk. And then I asked her, I said that tampering with evidence is a felony and they can't access me through my email. And then when I told her about tampering with evidence was a felony, she was left me alone. But she was trying to strategize her words and convince me that to stay at this location, I needed to delete my email to get another one. They didn't want evidence of these death threats and the emails that I got. So they were enlisting conspirators to help strategize a avenue to delete these emails that he realized that he now regrets. So he needed to enlist mid-coast to tell me that if I wanted to stay there, I needed to delete these emails because it put other parties at risk. And then when I told them tampering with evidence was a felony, then she left me alone. Then I went to Metro PCS. Those scammers were enlisted to indeed make Jason's problems go away, and then say that because my email, I'm having these problems with my phone because of this email address. I needed to delete my email address out and get another email if I wanted to properly use my phone, which I haven't been able to use properly in 10 years with no email. So these locations are enlisted to be in cahoots with crimes and cover up. Well, they're doing what they do best. I mean, there's been no law enforcement. I think that it's been on the same amount for like a month. 176, back to this. Now they've manipulated this and then controlling the views, because I showed this. I told you that they would. But it's still, they didn't manipulate this, and it still says watch time's going up. But it is down from the 4.5. But the problem of it is these have been going up, but my revenue keeps going down and up, but this still keeps going up. So like I said, I'm being defrauded out of funds year after year, everywhere I turn, even on YouTube. So I guess I'm done with this investigation work today. Subscribe, pass on. I don't know who all is able to see this, but hopefully one day that justice will be served.